Welcome to another episode of the Skidoo Lounge. I am your host, Gorilla. With me today is he's a special guest, man. He's a longtime affiliate of the 508 Discord group. Um, Definitely a friend, man. But I'd say this is the first time we've ever had like one-on-one conversation. So I'm excited to see where it leads us and get a little kind of open up the identity on the old bear Jew that we've got here. What's up, buddy?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. So real quick, why don't you tell everybody where your nickname comes from so I don't get fucking anti-Semitic comments.
Well, it comes from a series film called the Inglorious Bastards. It's a film divided in like little series, and there's like a group who is chasing basically bad Germans during the war. I'm not gonna call the name, and in there in the group there's a guy called Le Burju, or like just Burju. I just put the Le in front because I'm French Canadian, and yeah, that's basically it.
So that's where the name came from. That's the dude that bashes dude's head in with a baseball bat, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I know the movie, but the viewers might not, or the listeners might not know who we're talking about. So I saw in your 508 spotlight, you were talking about your family a little bit and how they came here from the USSR. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about that? You said your dad's from like Odessa and shit, yeah?
Yes, so basically my parents, both of them are from the ex-Soviet Union. My dad is from Ukraine and my mom is from Belarus. And yeah, they grew up there and they lived their life there until like 17, 18 years old. So basically all their infant and teen life was there. And before all the collapse and the drama that was the 90s in there, they moved to Israel.
What led them to want to leave? Was it all of the conflict getting ready to happen, or
Well, being Jewish in the Soviet Union wasn't the best thing ever, and obviously they wanted a better life than being stuck there and seeing everything developed. And it was if you didn't move from there, you would be stuck for another 10, 15 years before everything stabilized. So yeah,
it
that's
was? Yeah, yeah.
they without knowing each other, both of their families immigrated to Israel because there was programs there, so they used those programs.
So you don't have to be too specific. Where do you live about now? You said you're French Canadian, so like, how does that?
Yes. So I was born in Israel, and around 2002, well, the end August 2002, we moved to Canada. Um, I'm French Canadian by accident because the only uh, how I say this, we only came here to Quebec because the kindergarten at the time was $7 a day, so it was really cheap for my parents.
Oh, so you guys only moved for educational purposes?
Well, it's school
Oh,
is
well, to
cheaper
that
here.
area.
Yeah,
My bad.
yeah. Well, kindergarten, I wouldn't say that kindergarten is cool, but yeah, it was it in Quebec. It's always a little bit cheaper to live than let's say in Ontario or like British Columbia. But yeah,
Is it the same way today? Like I know there's a lot of like not turmoil, maybe not now, but there for a while there was a lot of like Canadian population didn't really fuck with the government.
yeah, it's Quebec is a different story, but yeah, uh, basically we were supposed to move to Calgary, that is in Alberta, and in fun I also always say that I'm a Habs fan by accident, but I'm proud to be a Habs fan, and so yeah.
Oh yeah. So being born in Israel, does that mean that you have to do like a conscript or like does that mean that you
Uh,
have to
um,
serve in the Israeli military at all or
Technically yes. 10 years ago, when I was 15 years old, that means I'm 25 now if we do math. I went to like 2 months there just to visit my grandparents. And since I was at the age of starting the process to get enrolled into the IDF, I had to bring a paper with me that says that I'm just here as a visitor and I'm not here to stay, basically. Because if they would be, if I was staying there for like a longer period, I would get enrolled into the military. Yes.
Fair enough. And so it's not been like any kind of thing that you felt a need to do or anything like because Canada's your home, right? Or
Well, yeah, yes, I feel home in Canada, but to be well, if I'm really honest, what happened like almost like what it's like 18 months now. Like I felt that, but I didn't felt the need to go. To be honest,
oh, you're talking about the terrorist attacks?
yes.
Yeah. How do you feel that your countrymen handled that properly? Do you feel how does someone who is born in Israel, who's no longer, who's a French Canadian, how do you feel about how that whole situation was handled? Do you think that there could have been preemptive preemptive things in order to stop that? Do you think that there was a lack of defense organization? Do you think, like tell me your thoughts on that whole situation?
Well, to be honest, I was really like not paying attention to anything that was happening in Israel like on a daily basis. Only when like something bad happened, a terrorist attack or rocket launches or something like that. But I never like paid attention on a daily basis to what happened there, and now I'm like confronted with like almost the fact that I need to, but on the same time, I don't. It's like I'm putting that pressure on myself to like constantly know what's happening because I'm telling everyone that I'm Jewish, and when you say you're Jewish, well, you're from Israel, so it's it's a hard it's a hard topic, I would say, but Uh, I don't. I mean, I don't know what's happening like politically inside of there and everything. I'm really like
Right, right.
an outside view of this, and it would be what I'm about to say is like a cliche, but we all just want peace at the end. So that's it. But peace has to come from both sides.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, dude. Anything you say here is open, bro. I mean, you
Yeah,
should know that from the Discord group. It's you know, your beliefs and all that other shit that comes here is and that's the thing. Like, it's not like if anyone who doesn't know you well enough type shit, they're not gonna know that. Like, unless you tell them, you know what I mean, how you feel
yeah,
about that shit.
obviously.
So, do you remember the first time you played a video game? Like, with all the moving
um,
around, I feel like it might have been hard to actually have a home system. Or did you have like a Game Boy or?
my first video like game game thing or like whatever you want to call it was a DS, a DS EXL Mario edition. Uh, yeah, Super Mario Bros edition. It's like a red DSi XL basically. And I played. I remember I was like what 9 or 10 years old, going to Walmart buying Pokemon games like Pokemon Go. What it was, Black, White, Pokemon Gold's, Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold, like all those Pokemon games. And
Yeah,
then
yeah, red,
obviously
blue, yellow.
yeah, and then all the Mario Karts on DS. And eventually I evolved it in the Nintendo world to a Wii. I got a Wii because I got accepted into a good program in school, so my parents rewarded me with a Wii, and
Oh, nice.
that was great. So now Wii, it's Super Smash Bros, all the Wii Sports game. What else? Yeah, basically all the Mario games on that I played on the Wii. I wasn't really like a Zelda or uh, yeah, I wasn't like a Zelda fan or a Luigi fan. I always played Mario games. So like all the Mario parties, Mario Bros, Mario Karts, Super Smash.
Yeah, Mario Kart was the shit. Mario Party was the shit too if you had a group to play with.
Yep. And
Smash Bros
then
was something that you could play by yourself for hours. Ain't nobody got to bother you.
eventually I bought my first Xbox 360. Well, my dad bought it me for I think my birthday or some kind of holiday. I don't remember, to be honest. It was like I was what 12 or 13 when I had my first Xbox 360.
Oh, was it
So
for
I
your thing? Don't. I'm sorry. I don't know much about
bar
the Jewish religion. Was
yeah,
it your bar mitzvah thing?
probably, to be honest, probably because I was like 12, 13 years old. So it probably
Yeah,
wasn't
isn't that
for
when
the
they
bar
have
mitzvah,
that? Or
but yeah, it's 13 guys at 13 years old have their bar mitzvah, and girls, it's a bat mitzvah at 12 years old.
interesting.
So yeah, it probably was for like that or anyways. I got it at 12,
Regardless, you
13.
had a
Yes,
360.
which is pretty well. If you like, it's pretty late for a kid right now to have an Xbox at 12 or 13 years old. Now they have an Xbox at 6. You know,
Yeah, the Xbox X's and shit.
yeah, and that's basically how I ended up in the Xbox world and not in the PlayStation world.
So, what was your first person shooter? Like, you said that you started with like Smash Bros and Mario Karts and all that dope ass gaming. What was the first person shooter where you were like, yeah, fuck, this is where I'm headed for. This is where I want to be at, or
Well,
did you play a multitude of games?
I played a little bit of zombies on in Black Ops 2 with my friends, but I didn't own the game. I just played with them. And my parents, for some, well, they were good parents, so they didn't want me to play FPS games because they were violent. So yeah, um, my first real shooter, I would say, was that I uh, bought and started like to enjoy and play was Battlefield 1 because I like
Yes, Battlefield 1 was the shit.
I really like the immersion of that game. So like it was really great, and I started like to learn a bit of history and everything. So it was like a nice immersion. And then from that, I evolved to Battlefield 5 to 2042, which sucked ass. And then I started like watching videos on YouTube about Battlefield and such. And one day, a Hell Let Loose video came out, and I started to watch Hell Let Loose videos, and I really liked those videos. So I had to, since I only had a Xbox 360, had to buy an Xbox One S to be able to play Hell Let Loose. So I bought a new Xbox and bought Hell Let Loose the same day I had the Xbox, basically.
Damn, so you were rocking the 360 until you were like, yeah, I'm about to play Hell Let Loose. This is my like that's insane.
Yep. And well, I got a deal on the Xbox S, and I sold my 360, which was
Yeah, yeah.
like, I mean, if you make the math, it was I basically paid like $75 for my first Xbox One S because I sold my 360. But then that the old One S was shit, so I switched like after like 2 years. I switched to the Series S, like the
Oh
new
yeah, you
version,
have to. You have to.
the next gens. So yeah.
So what else do you do outside of gaming, brother? Like, what are some other hobbies you have? Do you have any like, what do you do for work? What are
Um,
some of your fucking,
yeah.
favorite music, favorite fucking, I'm not gonna talk about hockey, you fucking Canadian scum, but
Yeah, I was about to. That's basically it. Hockey, but yeah. I mean, I finished a college degree in, yeah, I call it automation and robotics, industrial automation and robotics. Although I don't really do a lot of robotics, but I just added because it's cool. But that's how the diploma is called anyway. But yeah, and now I'm working for a French company that's called Alstom. And right now we are in charge of the biggest transportation projects in Canada, called the REM project, or in
oh,
French,
nice.
Réseau
Are you
Express
able to tell us anything
Métropolitain.
about it or?
Well, right now they have big problems, service problems, well, service related problems and technical issues. But I mean, it's great. I'm a test technician, so I basically perform a lot of tests on subsystem of the train and the stations and the tracks. So yeah,
You stay busy?
I stay busy. I walk a lot on tracks. I finish
Do you like
early
it?
though. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's a challenge, and but it's great because I'm not stuck in an office and I'm not under pressure. So I think that's good.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. That's definitely sounds like a decent time at least.
I mean,
Um,
I can be outside, I can be inside, and it's like the
are
job
you
is
so?
obviously repetitive, but like I mean, I'm not like I said, I'm not stuck in an office, and that's great.
Yeah, that's always been my biggest thing. That's one of I cannot stand being stuck in one place for too long. I gotta get up and move around.
Yep,
What's the weather like out there? Like when you're working on these train tracks and shit like that? Is it like cold? Is it fucking, or
it's
is it just
it's
depending on the season?
it's
Or
depending on the season because in Canada we have all the four seasons, and in the summer it can well I'm gonna say in metric because I'm in Canada it can go like to 30 degrees Celsius, which is probably like 100 Fahrenheit, and then in the winter it can get to like minus 30, which is probably minus 25 Fahrenheit. I don't know. So yeah, like this winter I had to walk in like 5 6 inches deep snow on the track, and it sucked. But I mean,
damn,
I sometimes I would take a break and lay down and make snow angels. So I mean, it's worth it, right? If you can
right?
do if you can make snow angels while being paid, I mean that's a bonus right here.
So when you got your degree in robotics and all that stuff, was that something that you thought you'd be doing as train track stuff, or did
No,
you want to do
absolutely
like
not.
private sector shit? Or
Alstom is a private it's a private company, but I always envisioned the job as being in like a shop or like a manufacturing company that produce things, and you have to troubleshoot systems and computers and industrial PLCs and stuff like that. I'm not gonna get
so
technical with.
do you create anything in your spare time, like in a workshop or anything?
Well, on my we don't have like I work in a department that is only testing. I don't like create stuff for them.
Yeah, I
I'm
meant
only
like as a
testing stuff.
hobby, like as a
Yeah,
hobby, like.
yeah. I have my Arduino set that is collecting dust at the moment. But yeah, like I have all of that, and I thought about like buying like a 3D printer and everything, but I was like, if my Arduino set is here sitting for 6 months, well, more than 6 months, and collecting dust, and if some at some point I decide to do something, why would I buy myself a 3D printer, right?
Well, why has it been sitting there for 6? It sounds like that was a passion of yours. Have you just lost interest in it? You found new passions? Don't have the time?
Honestly, to be honest, it's not that I'm not passionate anymore. It's just that I did it so much when I was in college, and like after college, I would do like small projects just to like increase my knowledge or just be better at things. That I'm like
Right,
just
tinker here and there.
like it's. I mean, I could take it out and start doing something, but because it's like Arduinos are like a you build something and then if you want to destroy it, you destroy it, and if you want to keep it, you keep it. But like
Interesting.
if I want to like do a small thing, I'll do it. But it's like I like I do a lot of puzzles. Well, I used to do a lot of puzzles. Well, like in our garage, in my parents' garage, all the walls are filled with all the puzzles we did when we were
Bro,
young and growing up. So yeah.
dude, I've got to send you a picture of my room. You're about to shit your pants. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. So I've got puzzles that we've glued together, and I've
Yes.
also got a shit ton of like artwork that I've just done with like me, family members, etc. That's what hangs on my wall. I don't even have paint. Like every inch, like you ever been to a fair? Do they have fairs in Canada?
Yeah.
You ever been to the ones where they've got like the balloons where you walk up with a dart, throw a dart, and it pops a balloon,
Yes. I never
and
played
you
it,
get
but yeah.
like a yeah, and you get like a fucking picture from it.
Yeah.
That's what my room looks like. My room is just like it's got nothing but fucking artwork from different things,
No,
but
like
puzzles.
I believe that I have the engineering mindset because I always loved like building connects and building like tank models or like airplane models. We have like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
World
yeah,
War
yeah.
II bomber in our garage, like hanging like it's about to drop bombs. Like it's small things like that are cool to do.
So do you play like any Sims or like any like mega cities or
Um, I mean, I don't know if you consider like how do you call that game? Clash Royale or like Clash of Clans. Yeah, Clash of Clans, a sim game. But I used to play like a little bit of that game until I decided to
oh
like
you say okay,
until we
okay.
get raided by some guy from China at like 2 a.m. in the morning. So yeah.
Yeah, that shit's annoying.
But yeah, I mean, I was never like into like civil engineering. Let's say like it's cool, like and everything,
Civilization's all right, yeah.
like SimCity stuff like that. No, I never played it.
So as a first person shooter, you literally bought the Xbox to play Hell Let Loose. How long were you solo doloing it on that blueberry shit before you hopped into a Discord server?
So, and that's the crazy part. I bought the game, I started playing, and obviously, like everyone, I sucked. And I was like, you know what, this game sucks. So I stopped playing the game. And like in like like a month or 2 months, again I was like hyping myself up with YouTube videos. I was, you know what, I'm gonna give it a second chance. And from that, I started like more actively like playing the game and learning the game in depth and everything. And I basically played the game for like 6 months as a blueberry. Uh, and in September, like start of September, Plem sent me a Facebook message. Well, because I posted I made a post on Facebook asking if there was clans that would like
Oh, so
a
you reached
player.
out in that clan page,
Yeah, on Facebook, and Plem messaged me on Facebook basically,
and the rest is history.
and the rest is history. Yes.
So when you got into the Discord, this was your first group, like your first gaming group, right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So what made you want to rise up as far as you have? I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, you I would almost say, I would almost say you're like a media liaison. Like you've got your clip of the week, your clip of the month. Like you're getting other people involved. You're trying to anyway. I've noticed that the votes on the videos are actually going up compared. It looked like they were going up anyway. Look, there was 27, I think, on the last one that I looked at.
Yep.
Um, at what point were you like, yeah, I wanna make sure this group lasts. I wanna maintain, sustain, and grow.
Um, to be honest, when we reached, oh, I think it was Summit 2 when we went to the Valley final. And I didn't play that game, but we lost to TFMC there. I don't remember if it's
Yeah, I
Summit
remember
2
I
or
was there.
Summit 3. I think it was Summit 2. I don't remember. Anyway, we lost that. They lost that game, and I wasn't in that game, but I was in a previous game, and I wanted to like be there, but I couldn't. So from that, I started to be more implicated. And then we had our magical season 3, I think, where we beat. I think it was Summit 3 or Summit 4. I don't. I'm really.
Bro, I
Uh,
get lost with it too because I feel like I was with the Devils all the way through Summit 3 because I didn't play with the SOBs when it came to competitive play. And I feel like we played 1, 2, and 3. I think I was 1, 2, and 3 with the Devils. But what are you on now? 5?
well, yeah, yeah. Now they're on Summit 5, but we're not competing in Summit 5. But yeah. Anyway, the last
Oh,
summit that we competed, we beat Berserk in like an unprecedented win, like at Martain. Like we literally took that game from their throat and won that game in the last 8 minutes. It was insane. So from that on,
nice.
I was hooked. And well, then we lost to Ruffs RYFS, which is a really really good clan. So we weren't like ashamed of that. But yeah, from that on, I was hooked like to. But at that point, I was already a sergeant, I think. But um, I mean, I was a corporal for like I don't know how much, 5 6 months. And I mean, I
Yeah,
never like
but
wanted to
being a
be it.
sergeant, but being a sergeant isn't what you're doing now. Like you've been NCO level shit, but now you're starting to do more like interactive stuff like that. Like I was telling you, the clips and shit. Like what made you want to start bringing that level of shit to the clan. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot
Well,
of NCOs and stuff like that, they get to the point where they either they run a squad and they burn out, they run a squad and they become platoon leaders and then become officers, or they burn out. You know what I'm saying? So like, when are you just trying to find other ways like umbrella out to keep the group doing other shit, or like
I mean,
what led to that whole?
the clip of the week and the clip of the month thing was Plem's idea, and he reached out to NCOs, I think, or yeah, I think it was NCOs, and asked who wanted to do that, and I volunteered myself with Texas, and I mean, I always liked uh, editing videos. Like if you go like on my personal YouTube page, which I'm not gonna mention, you can see like all my like old edits when I was like 11, 12 years old, going up to like now and everything. So I always liked like that side of uh video editing and stuff. So I mean, when the opportunity raised, I was like, well, I mean, I like it, so like let's do it. And in the beginning, it was like if you go to the first weeks of clip of the weeks, like the videos are poor quality. I would upload the YouTube video while I was working on my phone, so like understandable well why it was
They almost
like
look bootlegged.
yes. So and eventually I evolved it to like, you know what, I'm gonna have an editing thing. I bought like a program to edit, and I mean it's not a lot of bucks, to be honest. And yeah, so I started like being more like actually engaged in that, and start finding tweaks and how to make people post in clips and highlights, because some weeks we're like at 5 clips and you're like, well, okay, and sometimes we have 25 clips, so you're like, oh shit, okay. So it's
So how do
great, to
you
be
go
honest.
about limiting them? So like say next month we get 32 clips. How do you go about do you have people vote on every single clip, or do you have just people vote on like a council decision of five, or you know what I mean? Like,
So basically, for to be in clip of the month, you need to win in clip of the week. And to win clip of the week, it's me and Texas who basically go through all the clips that were posted in clips and highlights throughout the week. So it's from Monday to Sunday, and we see what video we like the most. Or I mean, our criteria are really basics. It's your gameplay. Is it good? And do you have a funny gameplay, or like something funny happened? You know.
do you prefer funny or dope? Like something awesome.
Well, if you go in the beginning of clip of the weeks, you'll see that a lot of clips were funny, and Clem made a stop of this and said, "We need to find good gameplay clips, not funny dumbass clips." So yeah.
Good old Plemmy.
No, but yeah, we try
So,
to like rotate. Like if like I like choose let's say a gameplay clip, Texas will choose
mhm.
a funny clip, and if Texas chooses like a gameplay clip, well, I'll choose a funny clip, or like vice versa, or like the same thing. But you know, we try like now more to balance it. We're like what 5 6 months into this. I started in like October, so yeah.
Nice, nice. So how did I know there's been a couple splits and I haven't got to talk to a higher up yet about how shit was done afterwards. So like how did you guys, because I know there was quite a few people that left after the SOB split, and me included. There was a couple people that left during I can't remember what they told me. Was it Berserk or Legion or
Yeah, that's
uh
they went to WRTB first, like the inaugural or
the
inaugural.
first on point in his crew?
Oh yeah, they went for I think the 7 cab or something. I don't even remember, to be
Oh, it was a
honest.
calf. My bad.
7 cab, something like that. But yeah, well, the all
Because
that
you guys lost a lot of motherfuckers. Like
from
I was
July
leading
to
Baker. Baker left. Like
yeah, from July to, let's say, mid October. At no, not mid October, the end of September to start of October, we lost the, I'd say, 30 to 35 players. Some were,
35. Damn.
I'm probably like wrong on the numbers, but it seemed a lot, to be honest. from the comp
I
roster
mean, it
too. So
was. It had to have been a lot. Like, and they were. It wasn't like motherfuckers. I think people get this confused because it wasn't like lower glide people, dude. It was like NCOs, squad leaders, fucking.
yeah, well, it it all started with one person and one person only, and
I
he
know.
decided.
And if I ever see him in real life, I'll kick him in the fucking face.
And I personally didn't take it really well, and I eventually I messaged him some bad words and my thoughts that on the situation, and it got propagated, and some guys left because of that too, because they didn't thought that I would be like someone who would start something like that. But I really didn't enjoy those months because it was really like a stab in the back to everyone, especially after like the season of summit that we had. Like, just like if we had all these guys right now, I mean, just the level of skills we would have would be
I
like
know.
insane.
Hey, imagine being a motherfucker who thought he was leaving on some good shit and had to come back with his fucking tail. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just thankful motherfuckers accepted people back, dude. Like, luckily I left on good terms. I didn't leave with no, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you,
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I
But it
understand
hurt,
wanting
bro.
to. Yeah, I mean, I understand like wanting to try something else and new, but it always needs to be done, and you'll always stand on that. It needs to be done respectfully. That's it.
Well, it's even like, and it's crazy because like you guys talk about that, and I remember when I first left, man. I was talking to Plim and Fink about everything, and now looking back, dude, I'm just like, what the fuck was I doing, bro? Like, it wasn't even. It's just like all my people were leaving, but the problem wasn't the fact that all my people were leaving. It was the fact that I had gotten so stuck on like centralizing shit. Like I only fuck with Baker. Like I never went out of my fucking way to go and fuck with Abel or Charlie or Dog or Easy or you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I didn't I didn't I didn't go out of my way to make more friends. And that was, so when all my friends were leaving, I saw the way out. I was like, hey, what the fuck? But then it turns out that all those people you thought that were friends, bro, they weren't really friends either. They were just fucking dude, the thing that blows me away, Bear Jew, is how egotistic motherfuckers get over this shit. And
Yes.
like, it's a Discord in a video game, and when I got to that point where like I came back because like I had some like I had to go for some surgeries and shit, and I come back, bro, uh and Rabbit and all these guys they're boloing, which only Discord people know what boloing is. They're boloing Resnal and all these other motherfuckers like combat veterans and shit, bro. Like you're not like the to me, bro. There's always been like this level of like if you're a vet, bro, whether it's whatever, you try to understand what's going on. You don't just fucking kick them and then ban them from all comp play. Like that's like what the fuck has happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I tried to bring that up to them, all they did was attack me, and I was like, so you guys all hopped on these trains about like 508 attacking people, and yet here you motherfuckers are. I bring up a question, and now y'all hating on me. So I was like, yeah, fuck you guys. Like I should have never left, man. The Devils have always been home. You guys have always been friends and family. And fuck adrenaline. I'll name drop him. Fuck adrenaline forever starting that shit.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
It fucked
and
up a
I
lot
mean,
of shit though. It really did. Like
clip of the weeks was like a thing to try to like make five weight a little bit happy. Like, I don't know how to like the term to use here, but like just to like forget the drama and like just move on and here's something to like cool off, I guess.
yeah, no, and it was
So like
hard, bro, because it seemed like the way that Rabbit and Adrenaline and all them made it out was like the High Council or whatever you want to call them guys, like Plim, Fink, Baron, and I think Ace was still up there. I don't know. Ace just came back too. I'm super
yes,
happy
I
to
saw
see him
that.
back. But that whole High Council of guys, bro, like they made it seem like nobody was like trying to work it out. It was like either we had to leave or it was, whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. Regardless of the fact, 508 Devils is home. And
To be honest,
yeah.
never knew what was said or what happened in there. All all I remember was that it was a Thursday. We were about to play 4AD, which rip
I
4AD
love
right
this
now.
guy. It was a Thursday.
And we were about to play 4AD, and someone came into the Discord. We were all waiting there and said, "Adrenaline just left," and I was, as everyone, fucking surprised. So yeah,
Dude, it broke my heart. That was, bro, like I've had, like, don't get me wrong, I've had some shit in my life happen, but I've never had this type of shit where it was like, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck do I do?
and I think I was sergeant, but I just became an NCO basically. I think like for a couple of months, I think. So I was still new to all of that. So I really didn't understand or care at the moment. But eventually, when things came out and everything, it just boiled over.
Yeah, and that's all it was, bro. Like I had loyalties confused, bro. I was loyal to the people that I thought made the 508 what it was, but they aren't because they can't even, like I said, they turned the SOB into a dictatorship type deal where if you ain't cool with the people, they literally became what they were bitching that Plim was, and I've never seen Plim that way. It was just bad. It was just a bad move. I shouldn't have done it. It was stupid. Luckily, I got to come back. Thank
I
God.
mean, at the end, we all have conflicts. I mean, I would lie if I didn't had conflicts with Plam or anybody in 508, but everything should be like resolved peacefully and with words.
Yeah, but it was like with all that shit, and then the first on point. The thing with the first on point, dude, I saw that shit. I told Plim about that shit months before it even happened, bro. And he was just like, he just was cool with players. Like one point left, that's when I was ready to come back. I did not want to be around that group. I do miss motherfuckers like Senpai. Senpai was cool as fuck. But
Yeah, I miss Patelman and Jin. These guys left because of First on Point,
yeah. But he was,
mainly because of
I
him.
don't know. Him and Adrenaline are two in a P, bro. I kicked them both. I fucking roundhouse kicked them, and I can't even lift my leg up that high.
Yes.
So, with the new NCO and all that shit coming in, how did you maintain your shit? Like, how did you help maintain the level of not professionalism, but the level of discordism? Like, like how did you keep the spirits up? How did you? Because Bearju, like at this point, bro, you're a staple of the 508. Like
Thank you.
like people in the group don't think of the 508 without Bearju. Like, so how
Um,
did you go from lonely fucking French Canadian to a goddamn staple of a Discord of 280 members?
um, I
And
think
don't be
it's.
modest, damn it. I can already hear it in your voice.
I
Don't be
think.
modest.
I think people. I really like to play Commander in Hell Let Loose, and I think people
Yeah.
notice how I was good at it. But I wouldn't say that I'm the best one at it or like or anything else. But I think that started something for in 508, and eventually I would. I think I come. We had the first versus second platoon, the fifth and last time we had first and versus second platoon game. I was called in last minute to command at the second platoon side, and we demolished first platoon 4-1 on SMDM. And I think that cemented my position as commander in 508 is Burju for like those kind of stuff, because we really won that game really like good. And then we started like to do like just matchups against each other's in 508. So we'd like do like a draft of people. Like let's say I would be the commander and you had Easy at the time commanding too, and we'd go like against each other. Or at some point we did I did that against Ayo, if you remember him. Ayo Demson.
Oh, I do. I do remember that motherfucker. Ayo, I do.
So yeah, that game I lost actually, but Ayo was considered as a good commander in 508 at the fact that we went head to head against each other, like gaining third, losing third. Like we each had that in that game. So like I think that cemented a thing in people's head that I was a good commander for for 508. Although I think I'm not a good commander. I don't know why, but okay.
I think
But
the
yeah,
difference is though you take responsibility and shit though. Like I've seen you say, "I'm sorry, I fucked up." Well, I've heard you and say, more than more commanders will, like, "Oh, my
yeah,
bad," or "Oh, I didn't really," you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I fuck with you because it's more of a chessboard. Like when we play and you're commanding, I can tell you what's going on my sector, and you'll listen to me. You won't be like, "Ah, fuck that gorilla charge," or "Fuck that gorilla, set up a defensive position," or "Fuck that gorilla." You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, "All right, gorilla, thank you." You know what I mean? Check back soon. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like
I
that's the
mean,
difference.
it's the small things. Even I mean, I'm gonna say copy, but if even though I'm not even paying attention to what I say, just the fact that I'm responding to someone might just help me. Uh, him well, no, it will help him feel like he's listened to, and he'll try his best to accomplish whatever he's trying to accomplish. But yeah,
Ouch, man. So basically, you were just telling me that you said "fuck me" and you didn't hear a thing I said. No, I'm just kidding. Nah,
no, no.
you're right. It is. It is the little shit. Even if you acknowledge it just as an acknowledgement, it definitely helps. You're right.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that's how it started, and then um, I commanded my first friendly. I think no, it was my yeah. The first comp match I commanded was in the league we entered was TFL, at the league that Adrenaline was in org of.
Is that the
He pulled us in.
20v20, 30v30, or
No, it was the league that we hopped in with
the one that Damos didn't want to do?
yeah. To be honest, I don't know, but it's the league that we took someone else's position, which was
Yeah,
already
yeah, yeah, yeah,
oh
yeah, yeah, yeah.
04 and oh 04, and we basically
Yep.
ended the season 010. So yeah, I played one game. I commented one game because they were literally looking for solutions. So they just said, "Burju, you're commending," and it went to shit. And yeah,
Don't you love when that happens?
yeah, and yeah, I really felt bad because I mean I cared about people, and when I play commander, my job is to enable 49 other, or like right now it's 48, but at the time 49 other guys to be good and accomplish what they need to, and be for here for them, and build those garrisons and supply jobs or whatever they need, just be for them. And I felt bad so that I wasn't able to provide for them. It's a
Yeah,
weird
you let us
sounding, but
down,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. So and I when I had bad games, I always like did a post, I think in Red Devils, to like say we had a great game and I'm sorry that it ended like that, it's my fault, basically, just so nobody feels shame. I'm the only person to shame here, right? So yeah, and
We're all
I mean,
ashamed of, but see, and that's what I'm saying. When you say shit like that, that's what I'm saying. It's not. I think Commander gets a lot of bad rep, but end of the day, bro, it comes down to the individual and the squad. Like if your AT guy's not busting tanks like he should, then you're fucking, or if your observe guy's not checking tanks like he should, then your squad leader's not placing OPs like he should. You know, the commander's always going to take the rap, though. You know,
so yeah,
but you've
and
always handled it with grace, even for a
yes.
Canadian.
And yeah, well, and then I was participating in a lot of comp matches as a in squads, and eventually how I became the guy on RD is because they were looking for someone on RD against 101A and spam for a friendly, and I volunteered. I'm like, I like to do it. Like I practice sometimes, so I mean, let's do it. And I did had a lot of team kills, but my RD really helped us win. Was the conclusion after the game. So that's why they put me in RD right now.
Yeah,
That's
you're a arty guy now, right? Yeah.
Yep. I'm basically the 508 RD right now.
Why? What made you? Why? Like, Why go from? Well, yeah. Well, just explain that to me because specifically the other day, I remember who was the guy that came in? Was it Snafu? Snafu or Goober or somebody came in and was like, "Dude, I hit you like 30 something times and you still kept fucking shooting shells." Like,
Oh yeah, when we had our friendlies against 4AD, yeah. Well, because now I'm playing artillery by myself without the fear
do you,
or
do you
conscience.
like the new rules?
Um, to be honest, it's really boring. But um, without artillery, we would lose if one side doesn't have arty and the other side has arty, you're losing the match. That's for sure. I mean, it's as as much as it's the game. It comes. It's like real life. Artillery is like king of battle, something like that. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
the
yeah.
exact term.
Artillery's king, infantry's queen. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I liked it better before because
It was more
I mean,
strategic,
yeah,
tactical.
you had to be more strategic, tactical. I mean, we would we with HQ rats, we would so mess around with like the guys trying to coming at us because like I would send like my two of my guys to HQ rats to try to fuck their arty, and when someone came to kill me, I would redeploy to that squad, try to fuck with their arty, while their recon is trying to. They're just there waiting for me to respond, but I'm not responding, so they're losing manpower there for practically nothing, and that's basically how it went against Berserk in the Summit quarterfinals, I think, or eight of finals. It was a game of cat and mouse with them and just being a step ahead of the enemy, and that thing like that was really cool. But yeah, right now it's more of a trying to predict where they're going to be coming from and being quick on the reaction to move the gun because I'm only allowed to one gun. So that means I'm only firing at one place at a time. So yeah.
So would you say that you are going to be the artillery shooter for the next foreseeable future? Do you plan on bringing on a mentoree? Do you plan on expanding? Do you plan, like,
Well, at the moment, I'm working on creating maps with like precise locations of where I think or like the like or not where I think what a good fighting position would be for the enemy basically. So like any like
so
bush or like anything behind a rock or like a hedge
are you
line, anything.
watching videos? Like, are you watching film and doing
Uh,
this?
no, I'm
Like, are you
basically
watching enemy clips from their battles in these leagues, or are you just
uh,
admin camming
I
randoms?
I do that, but what I mostly do is I go to admin cam and I go to us. I'll take one objective and it's soft cap. I'll take a screenshot and transfer it to my laptop, and then I'm going to admin cam and basically just analyzing everything. Like because let's say a trench, I'm like currently watching it also. Like a trench in real life, like in the game on the map, its location is probably not exactly where it is on the map, right? So just to know that little uh point can make a lot of difference on the splash damage for RD. It's really technical, I know.
Yeah, well, and so did you get that from like a Steiner aspect, or did you just one day was like, I want to be better at my job?
I just want to be better at my job, and I always wanted to do that. I just never had, let's say, the guts to do it because it's a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. I mean, I just finished for next comp game, TPL game. I just finished the 2 points, and I was up. I'm right now. Well, not right now, but I'm working on the third middle point. And being Mortain, there's a shit ton of bushes. So yeah, a lot of
So,
points.
hey, speaking of Mortain, real quick. So, what led to Mortain being the 508's go-to map? I mean,
Um,
besides success, obviously success is what leads to that.
yeah.
But like, what led to y'all's success? Because, like you said, there's a lot of bushes. And like the Achilles heel has always been Foy. Now, do you think that we're just better at being bushwookies? Do you think we're better at just squad forming, like squad, fucking hopping down bushes? Or do you just think like open maps are more of artillery armor and we just don't have that level of artillery armor to compete?
No, to be honest, I think it's only confidence that was grown with the success we had with the map. Because I mean, our first comp match, or I mean, friendly, not comp match, on this map was against 9 May, and we beat them for one. So uh, I mean, it started there basically. I think, and you said not. I mean, that's success, but that's how it started basically. I think.
Right, right. Well, it's just like tactics. Like there are certain tactics where you have to use, and that's one thing. Excuse me, sorry, one second. Sorry, weed legal down here, so uh, but like tactics and shit. Like, so there's certain maps where, like Foy, for instance, if you get
Yes.
Foy and you're the Americans and you're on Southern Edge, you are fucked.
Yeah,
And
Foy. It's a map that I like to command because it really brings your tactical skills into play. Because Foy, you really need to have specific points taken. If not, you're losing the game. You have to have the specific points in control, or you're not gonna win the game because it's so open fucking map that any movement is saw by everyone.
oh yeah,
And that
and so, but what I was getting at was there's some of those objectives. God damn, some of those objectives. Every time I want to talk, it's like it's allergic to the bullshit. Um, certain objectives you need that artillery bombardment. Like you know what I mean? You need those three guns. Um, how do you think that type of difference in tacticians is going to affect the next year summit?
I mean, for
Because you
pl-
can
f-
only have one gun, right? Like you're only allowed to have one gun of artillery.
yeah, right now on TPL, I in TPL games I average around 70. Like my minimum was 70 kills, and I go to like 100 kills. But
Yeah, but you also can't get shot now. You're not
yeah,
allowed to be killed.
I'm not allowed to be killed, but I'm also not just spamming the trigger button on the gun because I don't want to waste any like too much munitions. Um, I will sometimes like take a 30-second break of firing just to analyze the map and see what happens, and listen to command chat and what the hell they're talking about and what is going on. And if that's really really rare that someone requests already on the position, but when it does, I'm really happy. But yeah, it's uh, I mean, how it will affect. I mean, I don't think we'll compete in Summit, but let's say next TPL season, if I'm basing on this this season, um, people will get better at arty, being solo arty. I'm already getting better at it and getting the flow of the game and knowing when to spam your trigger because they're all coming from there. So spam your fucking trigger. Um, and like right now, I'm currently working on map with precise like pinpointing like my arty
Ranges.
basically, yeah, everything. So I think that's gonna make me even better. So it's yeah.
As an artillery guy, do you pre-position all three guns and just what the fuck? Like a sympathy, like or not sympathy, sympathy.
Sin-
Like the goddamn orchestra. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like
In
or
the
do you just
past,
play with one gun?
in the past, we would do that with Baron. Like we would say like we'll use like let's say one gun on off. In the beginning, all guns are hell on middle, but then we'd say like okay, let's have one gun middle, one gun offense, one gun defense, and one gun is a floating gun. It's whatever the need is, we're gonna position that gun to that. But now with the new rule set, it's only I have to choose one gun in the beginning of the game, and I that's my best friend for the next 90 minutes, basically.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so like this has like there's a little bit of strategy in that because all not all the guns are positioned on the same distance from like each point. And like let's say when a game reaches like the score of 4-1, you're pretty much just stuck doing arty around your strong point and defending, because if you fire it in the offense you'll kill your own players because there's a range limit on the guns. So I mean, last game I chose the bottom gun because we had the bottom third point, and their next objective, their fourth, was on the bottom side. So that's why I decided to go on the bottom gun, and it helped a little bit because I gained like 20 meters. But that's it.
Right. So would you say that you have better luck? Not even better luck. Would you say you prefer offensive arty or defensive arty?
What am can you repeat?
I said, what do you prefer better, offensive arty or defensive arty?
I love more defensive arty because it makes my mind more work. Because offensive arty is basically you fire on the enemy strong point and you don't care about it. And defensive arty is you have to care about it because you have your friendlies there. And you don't want to kill your friendlies, because if you kill your friendlies, you lose that manpower there. So yeah, defensive
Right.
arty is I like better defensive arty because it makes me work, and
Do
I actually analyze the map and try to coordinate with the guys on the field, like, hey, watch out, there's like shells coming there, so wait like for like 3-4 shells and then send your guys there to like clear the position. So that's great.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of just answered my next question was going to be, do you get more call outs offensive or defensively?
Obviously defensively I will get more callouts, but sometimes on when the time is needed, like last game Baron called for me to we were about to cap fourth, but we like it was floating between contested and losing and defending. So he just said
Yeah.
Barrage is gonna fire right there, and you don't go there until he stops. So I sent like 2-3 shells there. I got like 3-4 kills, and then it flipped the cap, and I stopped firing there, and our infantry moved in, and we took it. So it's yeah.
How often do you use smoke?
Um, Usually I would use smoke when we drop airheads, but smoke is really useful like let's say Foy on West Bend against that's the game when I was solidified as the RD player because I did good there, because I was sending smoke on West Bend on the hangars of West Bend to hide our infantry pushing. So that helped us just surround the strong point, and eventually I switched to HEs to destroy them, and then I switched it back to smoke, and I was basically going back and forth with my HEs and smoke and trying to help the infantry just push around and just squeeze them in that circle.
Nice. Yeah. Oh,
So
I would
yes,
say you do a
smoke
pretty
is
fucking good job.
so yeah, smoke is useful, but let's say on Mortain, it's I mean there's a lot of bushes, so it's gonna be useful on Chapel, I'd say. But to be honest, in the beginning, it's more because a smoke shell costs 5 munitions versus a HE shell that costs 3 munitions. So for it to cost more and not do splash damage is, I mean, it does splash damage. You should receive it right on your head, but the chance of it is really small. So in the beginning, that's why you don't really see any smokes. You'll only see like
Okay.
I'll do smokes if we do have like we're about to have an armor infantry push, and I'm just smoking the point just to hide that. Basically, I'll do that, but um, usually sometimes I'll smoke and I'll put one smoke and one HE on enemy tanks. The smoke is to hide the tank and so to help our infantry go. But now our tankers cannot see them, so that's like a plus minus situation. And the HE shell is to destroy any repair station that is near the tank, basically.
Fair enough. I mean, I got two more questions for you. You ready for
Of course.
them? Question one. Where do you see the 508 in 5 years?
In 5 years, I
Yeah,
mean,
like the community as itself. Do you see it sustaining itself? Do you see it moving on to other games together? Do you see it dissolving? Do you see,
uh, well, we almost had that happen. So we survived a big storm, let's say. So we have the experience of a big how can I say this? Of a big split or like a big, oh yeah, a
yeah,
big
internal
split,
conflict?
internal conflict. Yeah. Um, I mean, we are a hell of loose clan, so I mean, it depends on the game, I guess. Uh, if the game survives another 5 years, I mean, I think yes, because it's a fucking great game, and the community around the game is great, and I think it's like one of the greatest community an FPS game has. Like,
Agreed.
so I mean, we I think we had at some point a Minecraft 508 server. I mean, I think yeah, we also had like in Charlie we had our own server at some point when the Jews had it, but I think he stopped paying paying for it, so that's
Right,
why
and
we don't have it anymore.
we've got our own Spotify podcast, so it's like we're
Yeah,
never gonna go completely out, but
I mean, we have clip of the weeks that is on YouTube right now, so that's forever there, you know. So
hmm.
I mean, I don't.
So would you say we're everlasting, bro?
I think
We're here for eternity, baby.
I think we can last, but obviously, like everything, like everything has to end. But I mean, if you look at like let's say DPL right now, they bring like a lot of clans together to play comp matches. So I think that's great. And I mean, right now
Yeah,
I'm not
like the coalitions.
not only the coalition, but just have a like an official league where teams can play, where you have
Oh,
stream
yeah, yeah, yeah. The official league shit's cool as fuck too. Yeah, yeah, you're right, you're right.
where we have streamers like casting games, have commentary, like guys doing like reviews of games, like doing
Right, it's
rankings.
almost like old school Call of Duty.
Yeah, and like it's really fun. So I think that's really like that helps keep everything afloat. I wouldn't say that we thought that it would all sink, but like it really helps like keeping everyone together and have a good relationship or like spirit in the community.
Fair enough. And my final question, my brother, is where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Um, that's a good question.
Thank you. At least I got one. At least I got a one that's a good question this episode.
No, because that's like the classic interview question when you find a job. So
Exactly.
yeah, so honestly, I'm I'm gonna have my own house. That's for sure. Because right now I'm basically living with my parents, but I'm just
Ain't
accumulating
nothing wrong with that, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
all my money into savings account. I'm investing
Yeah,
just to
I think that's one of the biggest Western psyops in the
yeah.
world, bro, is move out at 18, go to debt with college, get in debt with a mortgage. Yeah, dude, you ain't gotta explain yourself. You good, brother. I totally
So
would be doing the same thing if I could.
so yeah, well, right now I'm looking at I mean condos and something to have to on my own name, but for first I have to be pre-approval for a mortgage, and I'm currently working on that. So I mean that's gonna take probably one year. So I have 4 more years to cover. So let's say I'm probably gonna still work. Not probably still gonna work in the same company. I feel like probably on another project because this project that I'm currently working on, the end date is around 2027, 2028. So I
Oh,
mean,
fuck, that's already three, yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna be fucking 29 there. It's scary, scary numbers.
Bro, don't I'll be damn near 35, bro. Don't start with me about it. Scary,
Scary.
you son of a bitch.
So yeah, yeah, I think that's probably be like a leader of some kind in the company, probably because I'm gonna have gained experience and knowledge on all the systems and everything.
Now, if the clan falls, I'm not saying it will, and I hope it doesn't, but Do you plan on still associating with members, or do you plan on if it's done, it's done?
I mean, I don't think.
Like you
Well,
got
I mean, I don't think if it's done, it's done. But I'll still keep playing, and I'll still be around, and might join something else, or s- a group of people would join something else than 508. I mean, personally, as long as this game is alive and developers are updating the game and making the game better, I don't see why I would quit.
well. I have one more for you. I lied. This is my last question though.
No worries.
So, do you feel that the 508 is strictly a let loose Discord group, or do you think it has evolved into a international community?
I think it evolved to international community because you have a lot of guys that are on reserve and they sometimes just show up, say hi, disappear for 2 months. They come back and they say hi again. So I think that shows that like people like it and people want to stay even though they don't play, let's say, Hell Let Loose anymore, or they have IRL stuff that are happening and they cannot be online, so they are still in the group, but they just chat with us, and they don't essentially play, but they'll play when they can, right? So I mean, the
I
best
love that.
example, I think in Charlie is Spotsy. He's been around. I don't know how many years or months. Probably he's been here more than I was, and he's here, but he's not here at the same time.
Fair enough. That's all. Well, man, that's all I got for you, brother. I think I appreciate the fuck out of you for taking the time to talk to me, and uh, I know sometimes I might have been uh, overbearing, but it's just because I'm excited. I'm glad to get this growing and get the more people in here to tell their story and to I, to me that's one of the great things I love about the group, bro, is the fact that we've got French Canadians, we've got Americans, we've got East Europeans, we've got West Europeans, we've got fucking Finnish, we've got Swedish, we've got Italian, we've got you know what I mean, we've got fucking everybody. We've got leftists, we've got rightists, we've got anarchists, we've got fucking
Yeah,
addicts, we've got you know what I'm saying? Like we're
the
just like
anarchist
a
is
big ass
the anarchist
yeah,
is
we've
Forrest
just got
Dawn,
like a
right?
big ass we got a big ass batch of just fucking
Yeah.
misfits, bro. And it's the fact that we're able to maintain civic responsibility and civic respect for each other is far beyond gaming, in my opinion.
Yep.
So
I completely
I
agree with you.
love you to death. Um, I'll see you on the battlefield soon. Um, I don't know if you know this or not, but I don't do no editing. So as soon as we're done with this, it will be on Spotify. You can tell your friends, tell your family that you made it to Spotify, whatever, whatever. It is
Yay.
already in the 508 group that you succumbed to an episode. So the group will know soon enough. And I will probably invite you back for some other shit. I want to get you, Lazarus, and Damos all together because you guys are all Canadian. And
You can
kind of have like
yeah.
because you guys are all from different areas. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's kind of cool. I don't know. We'll talk.
You got
But
Harmless and Bluff that are also Canadian.
oh, I didn't know that,
Yeah.
dude. Man, I just got back. Don't bust my balls, Bears. You come
No
on.
worries. It was really
But
great.
much love, man. I'll see you tonight on the game, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, really great to talk to you.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, no worries, man.